Well, yeah, I guess we're back again with another deck profile, and we got Mr. Jordan here, and I don't know what I'm...
And cut.
Yeah, what were you playing?
Today we played Crystal Beast. I tried the Advanced Crystal Beast version, but it didn't quite work out, and I didn't have all the cards that I was looking for to play that version. So yeah, we just decided to go with Crystal Beast Conclave Control.
And I believe the other tourney, what did you get exactly?
Which one?
You got first place, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got first place. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, like it's honestly a really cool deck because honestly, like it's Crystal Beast, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta represent his inner Jesse Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do you have anything else you want to add before we go ahead and get this started?
Yeah, shout out to Jesse Anderson, because that's the guy, the man, myth, legend. And shout out to Neshi for the build that I based it off of. And like, basically just carried me to victory. So yeah, those two. I really enjoyed playing this deck because it was interesting to play Crystal Beast in this format. And it was just breath of fresh air because everybody's just playing Tier or Sprite and stuff like that. So the fact that Crystal Beast can actually be in this format was pretty freaking cool. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's go ahead and get this started then.
All right, so what we decided to do, we started off, of course, Sapphire Pegasus, literally the best card starter.
It's not once per turn, right?
It's not once per turn. It's amazing. And then we go with this guy, which is basically you put him on the spell trap zone, banish him, and then he special summons and adds Rainbow Dragon, which is really cool. And then even during during a battle that involves the Crystal Beast, you can special summon him from the hand. Ridiculous.
Good. Yeah, it's a good 3K beat stick, right?
Yeah. The one Ruby, because, you know, best Espeon.
We love our Ruby.
Cobalt Eagle, for another name, it also helps to get into rank 4 plays, because you don't want to, you know, do other stuff. And also, he's a win target, so he's kind of cool against Flu. If you special summon him, and then you can just make like a Tornado Dragon or, what do you call it, Lightning Shidori with him, which is pretty cool. Just get rid of any problem, and yeah, he's a good little eagle.
A good boy.
Good boy. And the one of Rainbow Dragon, of course, because you need him because the spell card is counter trap and is broken as long as you have the card in your hand.
Were you able to summon him at all?
No, I was not. This card was just for flex. Like, you don't really play him other than that. It just enables the rest of the deck. That's pretty much it. Then we don't want our opponent to play, so we have hand traps, of course. We have D-Fissure.
Or D-Shifter.
Or, sorry, D-Shifter. That's the other one, yeah. This one, basically, you know, everything that goes to the grave, banish instead. Great card. Helps you power out and save some turns if your opponent has nothing that, you know, to work with in the graveyard. Sometimes they just pass.
Because also, like, your stuff don't go to the graveyard too, right?
Correct. They actually just go into the spell and trap zone, which they avoid going to the graveyard, and it's great because once they're in the spell and trap zone, you are able to power them out with the spell cards or even Ruby Carbuncle if you can special summon them. So it's really cool that the deck can just place itself wherever it wants to, and it doesn't have to deal with the graveyard that much. Then we played the Fenrir's because, you know, you never know what you need to remove, and it's just a really good remover and a free body to go for game. Oftentimes he was the last push to get to 8,000 without having to do too much work for OTKs. So yeah, he's just really good.
Would you think he's really needed, or is there like any good replacements you could think of right now?
Right now I feel like it's situational. Like he could be needed, he could not be needed. I honestly, it's just a different thing that can search itself, and it's a body. Like I just liked it in my preference. I don't know what I would change it to as of right now, but he was really good. And I chose this guy over the Bistles, mostly because the Bistles don't matter to me. this card getting rid of stuff on board mattered to me. So that was my theory of why I chose this card over the Bistles, the Bistle package. Now trap cards, we played 2 Miracle, which is the Omni Negate for this deck, and then the secondary effect, if it goes to the graveyard, or is in the graveyard, you can banish it, and then set a Crystal Beast, I believe it's from your deck. Yeah, hand, deck, or graveyard. So you could just, it's basically another Sapphire Pegasus, which is crazy. Sapphire Pegasus you can play from the grave.
You're playing 5 Sapphire Pegasus then, right?
Yeah, and an Omni Negate Sapphire Pegasus, even more better.
Even better.
Then we played 3 Conclave, which is honestly one of the best cards. Free Bouncer, free Special Summon, and then like it just enables all your abilities and plays that this deck loves to do. And you know, there's a really cool combo with this. If you have 2 of them on board, like most of the time when my opponent saw 2 of these, they were scooping because one of them would activate, bounce something that they needed on the board, and you can activate this and damage stuff, which is absolutely insane. Not too many cards can do that.
Yeah, because it's whenever a Crystal Beast is destroyed.
Right,
so,
and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like this card just enabled the entire deck to play. Going first is amazing. If you set it up correctly, going second, like there was no way for your opponent to come back if you had a Necro Rally on board as well. Oh, spoilers, that's in the deck. Anyways, yeah. So that card was great. The one of course, Rainbow Bridge. I hated seeing this in hand, but for some reason I resolved it on field, which was crazy. Basically what it does is once per duel, you can activate both the effects. The first effect is if you or your opponent have a controlled number of monsters that equal level 10 or higher, activate it, spin everything back into the deck from the hand, field, and grave, and then you and your opponent draw 5. So basically, it's a different type of Morphing Jar for the first part. Second part is you banish it, add a Crystal Beast, and a spell card. Any field spell card, which was super crucial because that's how you got into all your plays and needed. But yeah, card's great. Only needs played at 1. You never want to really see this in hand, but it does have utility.
Also because each effect is only once per duel, so it's
right.
Like you should have played 2.
Yeah, you really should have played 2, but it's crazy, and you know, it was just a carry target for the game. 3 Bridges. I don't know why you would ever not play this card in a Crystal Beast deck, because this card literally just searches what you needed to do. Search any crystal, spell, or trap. Amazing. Searches your spells or trap, or searches your blowout cards, and then searches like your starters, which is insane.
Basically searches half of the deck.
Yeah. Searches half the deck. Absolutely insane.
It's also not once per turn, if I remember right.
Right, and it's not once per turn. Cards that are not once per turn, broken. I don't know why we have them, but it's. Then we got the card that card searches. Crystal Bond. Basically your starter. I played it at 3 because I didn't have pots, so I needed to maximize the ability to have this card in my hand. Normally I would play it at 2, but because, you know, obviously I didn't have pots, play at 3. Special summon, or sorry, not special summon, add and then place, which is amazing because it's a 1-card starting engine by itself. Oh, and then since not really too many people are playing Ash right now, this card just resolves almost every time. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This card, which is Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. This card does so many things, it's ridiculous. And it is once. Each effect is once per turn, but it has 3 effects, which make it insane. It's a bouncer. It searches, and it double summons. It's the fact that this card came out made this deck so much more viable because of all the utility that could be used for.
It's honestly a really like broken card. Like, also look at the amount of text. Like, most likely your opponent won't even read it too. So
yeah,
it's like,
and like
you can take advantage of it. You know?
Yeah, there's that, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like this card literally is amazing. And if you're not playing this card, I don't understand how you're playing Crystal Beasts. Yeah, they're bad. You heard it here first. Then we have the Awakening of the Crystal Ultimate. This is your OTK engine type of stuff. So basically, it's a quick play. You can special summon out any Crystal Beast from your deck, hand, or field, And you know, usually if you have this and you have Ruby Carbuncle over here, you're in a good spot, and you're just basically pushing for game at that point. But the first effect also searches a crystal, or sorry, a bridge card, so you can send or add the trap card to your hand, or send it to the graveyard to proc the effect to add and stuff like that. So it has two really good effects that are absolutely needed to play this deck, because you can just get to your field spell that you need to protect all your stuff. And yeah, this card, absolutely insane. I think in the structure deck, to be honest, it should have been like secret or something. I don't know why they decided to make this
a common.
I agree.
It's
like the best card. Then we got the Foolish Burial Goods. Again, I would only play 2. Same reason with the Crystal Bonds. You just need to see it if you're not playing pot, because this enables all your things to, you know, obviously get to the bridge. This deck is very simplistic as long as you know the stepping process, and that was the whole reason why I was looking at Nesh's profile to figure out how it all works, and his spreadsheet was phenomenal. Like I burned it into my membrane of like how I was supposed to actually make this go. So this is the way to go. Just playing 3, and you know, people don't see this coming, and it's the funniest thing when it resolves. They're just like, "You play goods?" Yes, you play goods. You need to play goods in this deck. So
you're playing goods in the tier deck? What?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, he's not playing tier.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a great caught off guard card, because I don't know why anybody wouldn't play this in this deck. It's just a different deck entirely, and it just oppresses the meta so interestingly that, yes, it is rogue to play Crystal Beast, but it just has so much potential, and I believe that this deck can really go far. Just a little bit of things to change in the meta, but yeah, I think it really could go far. Moving on, the one Necker Valley shuts down basically the entire meta, which was really funny because I didn't think it'd actually do all that for the card that it is. But just Necker Valley, just Necker Valley. Cards can't be moved from the graveyard. Amazing effect. That
instant win against like most matchups.
Yeah, it's instant win. So it's absolutely insane. This gets dropped, your opponent like questions his entire life in like 5 seconds. Like, it's great. One pot, like I said, didn't have pots, only had 1, so missing 2.
He played the Megaton one, so he always saw it.
Right. Even at 1, this card was not a brick. It was amazing. This card was always glued to my hand game 1 or 2. Kind of strange, but it was great. And it's not a brick because if you mill the 6 or excavate the 6 that you need, you'll never see this card in there. So that's a pro tip.
Only play 1 prosperity from now on.
But yeah, great card. Loved it. Helped me search my entire deck. And because I didn't really play hand traps, I needed to see Dark Ruler in my main. Usually I would side this, but because I didn't have the pots, and also because I didn't play the pistols, this was the next best thing that just shut down the board. So that's it for the main deck. Going on to the extra deck. Cards I didn't normally summon, really. one IP, one Wind Charmer, one Underworld Goddess, one BLS. That's the links. Didn't really get into them, but they were just in preparation. I needed to get into them. One Entis for fun. One Mud Dragon because we play Super Poly in the side. It's broken. One Draco, and then one Garuha. Obviously, just the Super Poly targets. One Dugaris, one Cowboy, one Dweller, one Emerald, one Shidori, one Gusa, and Zeus. So the Emerald obviously is because everybody is playing Ishizu. She's crazy, so that's why you have to play the Emerald, which is absolutely great. Generic, puts stuff back, draws 1 card, really good. Chidori, of course. It's nice to just throw something back into your friends, your opponent's top of the deck, or just spin something back because you need it gone and out of your face. And it's win because you can make it. It's great. And then Baguska, obviously, if you need a stall, best staller in the game. Definitely needed in this deck because sometimes you do brick, and bricking really sucks. As long as you can get the two things that make Baguska pass, you just pray. But yeah, pretty much good. Dweller, I mean, it's your other Necro Valley if you don't get Necro Valley on turn 1 for time.
Well, I mean, the attack game though is very crucial too.
Oh, it's totally irrelevant, but yeah. I can't even get the attack game because I don't play waters, but yeah.
No, for Cowboy.
Oh, for Cowboy, yes, because yes, you need to swing so that you can get into Zeus. I'm just kidding. I never did that. Yeah. So yeah, he's great. And then Dugaris, because Dugaris special summons stuff back. Sometimes that's needed. Sometimes you need to draw 2, discard 1. Sometimes that's needed. And then sometimes you just need to boost something up so you could slap a Zeus on top of it. Like, this card's just insane. Like, has so much utility, does so much for the deck. Honestly, I never used it though. It's funny, but it's such a good card, and it's an easy drop for pot because you need to excavate. So easy. That's the extra deck. Didn't really matter all that much. Now for this side, we have 3 evenlies because it's evenly, and this format is just blowout format. So yeah, blow out your opponent, and you're winning. 1 Metaverse, 1 Zombie World, and 1 Spellcaster, Village of Spellcaster. So, yes, this card is at 3. I could only find 1 at the time. I would play maybe 2 or 3. That's a really good target when you can get it out. And depending on the matchup, like, you know, obviously these cards are utility for the matchups. Stop spells. You would normally have your Charmer out.
Oh, okay.
So that you can power out this card. And then your opponent can't play. Like, it's great. So that was the theory on that. Obviously, this is for flu because, you know, flu is flu and it just stays. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Metaverse package. Spooky Dogwood for time. It's an okay card. I mean, your opponent decides to stop it, or just if you don't use this card right, it could hurt you. If you use this card right, it benefits you by winning in time. So, just a good card to play. And you know how I was talking about Ash? I play Ash. Ash is such a good card. It's funny because this whole format searches, and I don't understand why people are cutting this card out, but I understand it at the same time. I just think it's better because less things to worry about when you're trying to play your game.
Plus, also people don't see it coming too.
Right, and it's funny, and no one's playing Called By in their grace, so this is just free.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. And then Super Poly, because I don't like having to work too hard to win the game. So if I know how to play my deck enough, and I know that they have 2 targets that I can use, I'm gonna play Super Poly. Like, play in his day. Like, that's it. But yeah, that's the deck.
That is pretty much it for what Jordan has to show for us. You know, very fun deck.
Yeah.
Very scary if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And, would you like to say anything else before we close this video?
Once again, thank you, Neshi, for actually putting out this deck profile, or well, a version of the deck profile that you cited and I just based off of. You know, shout out to our channel, and you better like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing it. I hope to play it continuously more. Because I don't really like this Tier 0 format anymore, and you know, let's be more diverse a little bit here. Well, how it could be more diverse other than the Rainbow Dragon deck?
Yeah. Alright, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got to say, brother. Man.
Until next time, peace.
SBGYO.
Yeah.
Yellow vibes, subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.